I do this half-an-hour dog walk around where I live here, and yesterday I came out with a pair of sunglasses pretty much like this, but me, being the idiot that I am, I clipped them onto my vest here, and then I was too busy messing around with the dog, chucking the ball backwards and forwards, while also trying to record a video like this. And lo and behold, when I got home, my sunglasses were nowhere to be seen. One of the drawbacks of turning 50 is you get very, very forgetful and you misplace things all the time. In other words, lose a lot of shit. And I'm very guilty of that. And these sunglasses I've lost, I'm gutted. They were Oakley's, they were quite expensive. Somewhere, gone, somebody's got them. What an idiot. So as I retrace my steps, I'm going to casually look down and see if I can find them. So that'll bring me on to just something I'm going to talk to you about today as I wander around. And that's 5 things that I've learned about life now that I'm in my 50s. And as I casually stroll around, we'll go through some of these. Now, last week I had the pleasure, and it was a pleasure, of meeting up with a chap called Nick Maher, who runs a very successful YouTube channel aimed at retirees, people on the brink of retirement, and his videos are kind of a no BS guide to life and how he was able to retire at 44 years old. It was 20 years ago, now he's 64. But then he talks a lot about, he's very pragmatic about a lot of the steps that he's done in his life, the things he does in his life to live a simplistic but meaningful life. And if I'm honest, he's one of my favorite YouTube channels. I get a lot from watching his videos and I'm inspired by what he does. Now, when you meet somebody like this, or when you see somebody like this who you connect with or you resonate with, I think it's important to try and meet these people. So I fired off an email to him a few weeks ago and said, look, you're only down the road from me in York. It would be great to have a meetup. So that's what we did a couple of weeks ago. We had a catch up in the Duke of York pub in the city and had a couple of pints of beer, of the Leeds finest pale ale, and spoke a lot about YouTube. He told me a lot about what he thinks I do well on YouTube. He also told me about the things I do wrong, which is predominantly my marketing. As I've said repeatedly, I know I've got this all skewed, it's all out of whack, because I haven't been able to niche down and choose something that I specifically want to concentrate on. So Nick was very aware of that, and we kind of joked and laughed about it a little bit. One of the things I think is important in life as you get a bit older is looking out for mentors, choosing some mentors. Now, these don't need to be, I said mentors, not mentors. I'm not talking about the minty sweet. These mentors don't necessarily need to be people that you know and that are in your life. It can be people that you see on YouTube, as is my case, celebrities in the movies and TV, whoever it is, somebody in the limelight that inspires you, somebody that's doing something in their life that you can learn from and can inspire you to live a better version of your life. Now, Nick is one such person to me. Prior to meeting him, I would have classed him as a mentor because I admired greatly what he was doing with his channel. And I just thought to myself, he's a guy out there, he's putting it all out. He's giving you it straight in a very pragmatic, no BS style. If he can do that, then that's food for thought for me. It allows me to know that maybe there's something I can look to do in my own particular field and my own particular niche and style. So thank you very much to Nick for that. I'm hoping that we can do some collaborative stuff in the not too distant future, which he mentioned. I think he feels sorry for me. I think he's trying to get me some more views instead of losing subscribers. So there's one thing I've learned about life. I think maybe as you get a bit older, it's not necessarily a bad idea to maybe have mentors. You might be a mentor yourself to somebody. You don't know. I get people messaging me, telling me that I'm a mentor, that they're inspired by what I've done in my life. Whether that's trying to climb that mountain, being a published author, traveling the world extensively, experiencing the highest of highs, the lowest of lows. This is all lived experience in life that's valuable to people. If you've been out there, if you've been there, done it, you know, you've walked the walk, talked the talk, bought the t-shirt, wear the t-shirt, then there's value there for some people, and people want to know, people want to connect with you. And I'm very humble about my life. I don't put it out there all that often, if I'm honest. You know, I could be doing a lot more in a business coaching way, I guess, if I was really that way inclined, but I'm not. I'm quite a private person apart from what I'm doing here on YouTube. But this is just scratching the surface of my life. I'm only showing you the parts of my life that I'm comfortable showing you. You know, this isn't warts and all. This isn't a full expose of the life and times of Ellis. This is just the aspects of my life that I enjoy talking about and that I'm comfortable talking about. Now, the gift that keeps on giving for me has always been, well, certainly for the last 9 years, has been the book I wrote in 2016. And this time of year especially, the Everest season, between April and May, climbers are on the mountain trying to summit, trekkers are in Nepal reaching Everest base camp. I think my book must be available for sale in bookshop in Kathmandu somewhere, because I always get messages from people this time of year saying that they've read my book on the way to base camp. And it's amazing for me. You know, it's really lovely that 9 years down the line that I'm still getting positivity and love for the accounts, my Everest book that I wrote, for the accounts of what happened to me out on the mountain. And I'm eternally grateful for that. Anyway, moving on. No, I think authenticity is key. I think being authentic on YouTube is the new buzzword, isn't it? It's the latest thing that everybody's telling you need to be to have a successful channel. People like this authenticness. I get that being authentic is a good thing to be. You know, nobody likes bravado and falseness. So you can connect more with people when they are being their genuine, true selves. However, there's a caveat to that. And I'll preface it by saying, yes, be authentic. But if you're an educationer, if you're trying to educate people, if you're trying to, you know, teach people something about some aspect of life, if you're a mentor to somebody, then you need to have something behind you. There needs to be sustenance to that. You need to have lived experience. You need to have a particular set of skills that people are listening to you, the reason why people are listening to you. Let's say you're going off on your jollies, you're going on holiday. You've got a choice of two pilots. Now, pilot A, massively experienced, knows his way around the cockpit, 30,000 hours of flying time, vastly experienced, highly skilled pilot. But to be honest, he comes across as a bit of a dick. Not the type of guy you'd want to go and have a drink with. Pilot B, however, is a fun guy. He's so just great to be around. He's got such a chilled vibe. He's the type of guy who you quite happily go and have a pint with in a pub. Just a great, authentic, genuine guy. However, he's not that experienced when it comes to flying. He's only got maybe 500 hours of flying time and he's not fully skilled yet. Now, who are you going to choose to fly you on your holidays? For me, Pilot A, every day of the week. Do you get where I'm going with this? So yes, authenticity is good, but you need to have something about you to back that up as well. Oh, yes, okay, let's get to point number one. Less things I've learned about life, or funny little things I've learned about life since turning 51. Number one in that list would be naps. Power naps are amazing. I don't know if it's a 50-year-old thing. I need a nap. If it gets to the afternoon and I'm just feeling a little bit drained, a little bit exhausted, a quick 10-minute nap, whether it's in the car, just sat in my office chair, whatever it is, it just revitalizes me. Power naps are just amazing. It's like a superpower that you didn't know you needed. And it's only happened since I got into my 50s. It just sorts everything out. Try it. Next time you're feeling exhausted, just zone out. Just give yourself 10 minutes. Close your eyes, get some important shut-eye. Go off to dreamland if you must. That 10 minutes, it will sort you right out. Point number two since turning and getting into my 50s is technology. Technology is now very much a love-hate relationship. Now, I used to think I knew my way around my iPhone. And be honest with you, I don't have a Scooby-Doo now. All this AI, artificial intelligence, Apple Intelligence integration, creative writing tools, it's just becoming more and more baffling. Just the simplest of tasks now is just overcomplicated. And I'm keeping up with it at the moment, but it's becoming more and more of a challenge, I'll be honest with you. My smartphone is 1000% smarter than me. Clearly, that doesn't take much, to be honest. And number three on this list would be, I tend to celebrate every birthday now more than I ever did. And I see the turning of the years and each birthday as a mini celebration. And it's a mini victory because I'm 1 year older. Now I remember several years back I had a good friend called Rob Metcalf, who we connected over Everest. At the time he was looking to become a client of mine on an Everest trek. He read my book. I got really friendly with him. I used to travel to Yorkshire, to where he lived. Sadly, Rob succumbed to cancer. He had synovial sarcoma and he lost his battle at such a young age, 32 years old. I was also very good friends, and still are, with Rob's family, and in particular his mum. Now, I knew it would really impact his mum, obviously. Anybody losing a child is a major thing in life that you don't want. Nobody wants to have to contemplate that. Now, I said to Rob's mum a few years after Rob's passing, after seeing that she'd been out to New York to celebrate a birthday, I think it might have been her 60th. So at the time, I was approaching the milestone of 50. And I remember saying to Rob's mum, oh my, I'm dreading turning 50. You know, I'm just getting older and older. And the thing Rob's mum said to me, and it's stayed with me ever since, and it's stayed with me to this day, that you should never regret getting older in life, because it's a privilege that not everybody gets to experience and live. And it just made me reevaluate and rethink. And she's so right. Turning 50 has been a privilege. It's a major milestone. Turning 60 is a privilege and a milestone that not everybody does experience. So it's a win. So now I'm at a point where I know that the candles on a birthday cake for me would probably cost more than the cake itself. But every birthday now is a victory. And that's the way I see it. It's just a celebration of life each year that I managed to get older. Number 4 on this list of the top 5 funny things about life since turning 50 is that my fashion sense now has a no-nonsense manual. I wear what I want. I don't set trends anymore. I wear what makes me comfortable, whether that's a Jurassic Park vest in the gym, an Elmo t-shirt in my local pub, you name it. I do not care one iota for keeping up with trends anymore. Comfy wins every step of the way, every day of the week. It just so happens that some of the fashion senses that I quite like are quite expensive. Some of the brands that I wear are still quite pricey. I think my go-to fashion would have to be Vans trainers, a brand called Passenger, which is the environmental message behind Passenger is amazing. It's all waves and trees and harmony and life, and they use a lot of organic cottons. The production is very green, and the clothing is just incredible. I just love Passenger. So go and check them out. There's a link on my description anyway if you want to go and have a look at it. And Superdry. I still like the iconic UK brand Superdry. And a lot of people think they're Japanese because it's Japanese imagery and iconography, but it's not Japanese. It's a UK brand that you used to see a lot on the high street, but it's sadly disappearing now. My local Superdry shops in Newcastle, York, Durham, they've all disappeared off the high street. So this Superdry is now fast becoming just back to an online only retailer. So they're the brands of choice for me. Vans, Passenger, Superdry, the odd bit of North Face, a throwback to my Everest days. If it's comfortable, then I'll wear it. As long as it's orange. I quite like orange. And number 5 is the art of the graceful. I'm not that old. Now, I've joked that aging gracefully means knowing when to laugh off, constantly misplacing my keys, forgetting names mid-conversation, or admitting that I might have spent an extra minute admiring a nice sunset. Life's too short not to find humour in its quirks, even if my memory sometimes doesn't cooperate anymore. And there you have it, my 5 lessons I've learned about life since turning 51. I hope maybe you can relate to some of them. Maybe you know where I'm coming from. It just makes life colourful, interesting, funny, quirky. I wake up every morning now just with a spring in my step, a smile on my face, wondering what the day is going to bring. Now, I hope you enjoy this style of video, these walk and talks. The reason why I do them is because A, they're so easy, B, they're authentic, and C, I feel like I'm getting to know you. I feel like I'm being able to, get to know a friend by talking like this. And it's great, it really is. I just enjoy this so much. Yes, okay, it's not everybody's cup of tea. For every video that I release like this, I might lose subscribers. That's just part and parcel of being on YouTube. You just have to get used to that. It's not personal. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe the people who are unsubscribing, it's because they don't like you. But the key is not to take it personal. I understand that life and everybody's time is precious, and people only have so many hours a day where they can commit to watching content that's being created. Now, I'm a realist. I know that not everybody's going to watch every single video I do all the way through to the end. My videos average 100 views, 150 views, and maybe that's where I am. Maybe that's my level. And those of you who do get to watch, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get something from this. Going forward with these walk and talks, it's my aim to become a little bit more transparent and a little bit more informative about some aspects of my life that I hope you might get some takeaways from. The places I've traveled to, I could give some advice and tips on that. How I was able to self-publish a book and take it to the top of a climbing chart on Amazon. How I was published, my public speaking, the businesses that I've run. How I was able to take one foot off the gas and kind of semi-retire at 50-year-old, although I'm not fully retired. How I've built up multiple revenue streams. All this counts and all this is valuable, which I'm prepared to put out there on these walk and talks. So till next time, I'll see you on my next video. For now, keep wondering and keep wandering.